MrSavage and Mongrel have officially qualified to Grand Finals after the suspected cheaters who originally beat them by 1 place were finally banned. So to celebrate them going to the big stage, I thought I'd showcase MrSavage's most up-to-date settings, keybinds and setup that helped him qualify. But starting off with his new settings, for his windowed mode, I do believe it's windowed full screen for the easier alt-tabbing while streaming. In addition to that, I also believe he's got this setting enabled in his Windows 11 settings, making it feel just as good as it feels on full screen. Below that, we've got his frame rate limit cap, which is now on 360 FPS. It did used to be on 500 FPS when he did get his brand new monitor at the time. However, with him potentially going to LAN events in the future, I think he's turned it down just a notch so it's more realistic. As for his rendering mode, he is using performance mode because it does massively increase visibility while boosting FPS a ton. Literally every pro in the game is also using performance mode. As for the meshes setting, MrSavage is one of the few pros that use high over low. I think the reason behind this choice is because he prefers the way it looks, as you do get those little cracks in the build with high over low. Same for the texture setting as well. This seems to be on medium, where a lot of pros normally use low. When it comes to his brightness, this is on the default normal setting 100, but for his colorblind, he's actually using Tritanope on the strength number 8. For those curious of what that looks like, I'll put up a colorblind comparison on screen. By the way, if you do want to stay up to date with any pro player settings, you can check out my website gamesettings.com. It's the best place to find updated pro settings, gear breakdowns, and so much more in one spot. For his view distance, that's on far, due to the fact you can see both items and builds from a much longer range without much FPS difference. However, do be aware that this doesn't affect seeing players. No matter what view distance, the player visibility is still around 280 meters. Furthermore, for MrSavage's Nvidia settings, it seems that he has not actually changed any of the visual ones, as he actually said this in his stream commands. However, I do believe himself or someone else has optimized his Nvidia settings to get more FPS and lower input delay, as it's a very common thing for top tier pros to do. And if you want to do this for yourself, I'll leave a link to my tutorial in the description below. Next, we have his game settings, where he has this pre-edit option turned off, and he's also got the edit on release turned on. If you don't know about the benefits of this setting, I did make a tutorial, but to simplify it, it just makes your edits slightly quicker. For his mouse sensitivities, he's got his X and Y both on 9.1%, his targeting sensitivity and scope are both on 49%, then he's got both his building and editing sense on the default. In addition to that, he has his mouse DPI on 800, which makes his eDPI 72.8, equaling a total mouse sensitivity of medium on the higher end. If you want to find out your eDPI, I'll leave a link to this in the description below. As for his mouse hertz or pollen rate, that is on 1000. I believe the reason for why he's not using a higher pollen rate is because of the inconsistencies that can come with it, like the lag spikes. Next, we've got his movement settings, where he has the values for this on 64, 90 and 122. Here's the confirmation from his stream commands. For his HUD settings, these are pretty much standard. He hasn't really changed them much. He's got cumulative on, hit only, I think his scales are maxed out, and he's got his HUD scale on 75%. If you didn't know already, there's a bunch of benefits to using all of these settings. And then we've got his audio settings, where he has his sound quality on high, his 3D headphones are off, and most importantly, he's got his visualized sound effects turned on, which gives him a huge advantage in game. Moving on to his keybinds, I want to start with his movement, where he has his sprint on caps lock, his jump on spacebar, and his crouch on left control. Then for his loadout, he has his harvesting tool or pickaxe on 1, slot 1 and 2, that follows through all the way to slot 5 on 6, and then he has his use key on E. And for his building, he has his wall on F, his floor on G, his stairs on T, his roof on left shift, and his trap on mouse button 4, with rotate building on mouse button 5, and his building edit key on R. Next up, we've got his gaming setup for 2025, which he did actually make a very short video of showcasing it on his live stream via the clip system. As you can see, this is his entire setup. I believe only one thing has changed since he recorded this, and it is his mousepad. But for his gaming mouse, he's using the Logitech Superlight 2, a lightweight and reliable choice that supports up to 4000 Hz pollen rate. For his mousepad, he was using the GameSense Radar Benji Fishy edition until he did recently change it out for the High Ground Minecraft edition, I believe. As you can see, it does look like a very similar mousepad in terms of size and probably quality. For his keyboard, he is is still using the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini, which is the smaller variant of the full range of keyboards. This keyboard features OmniPoint switches that allow for lightning fast key presses. For his monitor, this is the ROG Swift Pro PG24 8QP, which is probably one of the fastest monitors in the world that's capable of a massive 540Hz overclocked refresh rate. It's also got an eSports TN panel, which is great for motion clarity. Then for his headset, you've got the Beyerdynamic MMX 300 premium gaming headset. Moving on to his PC specs. Now, even though I'm unsure of his exact PC specs, I think it is fair to assume that he is using the best Intel CPU along with the best Nvidia GPU. Moving on, finally, I want to cover his Windows settings. As you can see right now, he is on Windows 11. He never used to be. He used to be on Windows 10, but now with him being on Windows 11, I want to show you guys the best Windows 11 settings. The first one is to press the Windows key and R, then type in System Properties Performance.exe, and this will open up the Visual Effects tab. If you click on Adjust for Best Performance, you'll notice it unchecks all the settings, but what we need to do is tick these 5 essential ones, which I'm doing on screen right now to get the basic functionality from Windows. It's just more stripped down without all the fancy animations and stuff like that. You'll notice as well in the task manager, if you look at the very bottom, you'll see uptime. To your surprise, the uptime may be very, very high, like some of these examples are on screen, like some are just ridiculous. And this is because of a fast start feature, which has become quite the meme. So to fix this, head into Power Options, click Change Settings that are unavailable, and simply uncheck this option. Now when you shut down your PC will fully shut down and the uptimer will be reset. Oh, if you go into Gaming 2, specifically under the game bar, you want to ensure that that is turned off, as it can give you micro stutters. After, I recommend disabling unused background applications by heading into your settings, then into Apps, and underneath Installed Apps, and if you want to find out if any of them are running in the background, you literally just click on those 3 dots on the right hand side, go into Advanced Options, and under where it says Background Apps Permissions, you can actually click on it and select Never if you want to stop it from running in the background. Oh, another thing I want to quickly mention is his custom crosshair that you would have seen on stream. If you weren't aware, he is sponsored by Crosshair X, which is a paid application on the Epic Games Store that does allow him to customize his crosshair to get crosshairs like this in Fortnite. However, if you do want a custom crosshair but you don't want to spend money, you can check out their free alternative application that's also on the Epic Games Store, and that will get you very similar results. And that right there is everything you need to know about MrSavage's updated settings going into the grand finals. If the video helped, please drop a like and subscribe, and before you do go, check out any of my other videos that are on screen right now.